I'm heading back to the UK, the place where my whiskey journey began. But this time,
Pretty surreal experience for me, I can't lie.
The winner is...
it's different. So in a nutshell, what's happened is I've been nominated for the Global Spirits Communicator Award for the IWSC. I'm currently in the car right now, going to the airport. I will be flying to London. You won't believe who I'm going to meet, discovering if London is still the whiskey capital I remember, and finally actually meeting another whiskey YouTuber in person. And along the way, I'll be asking everyone what their favourite go-to whiskey is.
Because actually,
The answers might shock you. Will I win the IWSC awards? Well, let's find out. Context, I actually lived in London from 2015 to 2018, and it's where I really fell down the whiskey rabbit hole. So I definitely had to stop and see a few whiskies at the airport. So just went to have a look at the whiskies that were here. There's some really good New Zealand whiskies, especially from Pocono. There was a real good collection there. Some interesting kind of single malts, but a lot of it's that super premium stuff, not the stuff I'm looking for. There's a few gems in the rough. I think a lot of it's targeted people with a lot more money. But after I landed in London, I actually was straight away hopping on another flight to Edinburgh. I'm actually going off to Edinburgh now to meet someone you might know, you might have heard of. You might even own some of his books that I've told you about. So this is probably one of the things I'm actually most nervous about, probably because I'm so jet lagged. I'm also really excited. So I'm gonna hop on the bus and then the next thing. So I am here. I have met Amy. She's one of the admins on the First Fill fam Discord. You were working at Johnnie Walker Princess Street.
It's a very recent
You finished
shift on Friday.
on Friday, and now we're going back to make it awkward.
Unintentionally, we're just going back just to say hi.
What's your always on the shelf whiskey?
Oh, it's got to be more like 16.
More like 16? It's good. Real meaty.
Dao Yun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dao Yun.
Well, thanks for showing me around, Amy.
No problem, that was only
Um,
the retail.
No, yeah. Well, I'll have to come back and see the full thing. Here we are. Found this guy in this random library. This is Ben. He also runs a YouTube channel called Good Juice. You might remember him as the Whiskey Diary, and he is here to help me shoot this interview. Back to my YouTube videos.
Sure.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, only on yours.
On my channel.
Yeah, only on yours. I only make your YouTube videos now.
But actually, if you can tell by the post over here, you might be able to guess whose library we're in.
It's an aspirational. I might almost say it's also inspirational. You know, Veritas. You know, the truth comes out inhibition.
There's a lot that goes into these videos, and they're only really possible with my sponsors. That's why I'm grateful for today's sponsor, which is Pre-Alcohol by ZBiotics. And if you people know that I'm a big fan of drinking responsibly and drinking for the flavor, not just for the buzz. That said, it can sneak up on you, especially if I'm going to a whiskey tasting, a whiskey festival. So to stay on top of things, I do three things. I get lots of sleep, hydrate, and I sometimes have a Pre-Alcohol by ZBiotics. It's a genetically engineered probiotic made by PhD scientists designed to break down the byproduct of alcohol that builds up in your gut. And that byproduct is what can leave you feeling off the next day. So if you want to try it, click on the link in the description for 15% off, free shipping, and if you're still not really sure, they do also have a money back guarantee. But even just clicking on the link supports the channel, helps me make more videos. Back to whiskey. Charlie MacLean, who's written the Wikipedia. You'll know him from movies like The Angel Share. He's written nearly 20 books. And I'm pretty nervous to meet him, and I'm actually getting to stay at his house. It's not just him, it's his sons who are doing something absolutely remarkable. I feel like I could chat to you for another 3 hours. This has been an absolute pleasure, I think.
Oh, it's been great to actually have enjoyed our chat.
After the interview, we sat down with Charlie and his sons to enjoy a very special dram.
This is a pretty surreal experience for me, I can't lie.
Like an idea, how kind of.
So I don't think I've witnessed someone enjoy a dram as much as Ben when he...
Oh, really?
This is literally what I'm a Gundronic fan, massively so.
Same, yeah.
Honestly, this is such an amazing photo. So,
We were just saying how we were having this Glendronach, and then you're like, wow, finish. And then the finish. And then the finish. And it sort of just kept going.
It's quite dry. It is interesting. I mean, I don't know whether Billy Walker's re-racked this, but no, this will be highly matured. So, what is it, 27 years old or so?
26.
1993. And this is the last, what were you saying? The last batch.
that's bottle number 651 of 651,
Wow.
which is pretty nuts.
Edinburgh was amazing. To think I got to meet an absolute hero, but it's time to go to London. The IWSC Awards coming up very soon. So I flew back to London. So back in London now, gonna catch the tube. So I was walking down the street and there's just this random. Have a look.
Can't imagine.
So I got to meet another whiskey YouTuber, and you probably all know him by now. It's Jeff from Jeff Whisky.
Shades and shirt. Got to be on brand.
We'll probably talk some nonsense together. Yeah, good to see you, mate. I got to take my bag.
It's the service you get.
And try some good whiskies. Now, London's known as probably the whiskey capital of the world in terms of the amount of shops you can go to, the whiskey bars. So Jeff's going to be my guide. We're going to go to a bunch of different whiskey stores, some whiskey bars.
So we can do, there's Covent Garden, there is the whiskey shop.
Whiskey shop.
Should we head there? And then that also takes us, so if we head to Bond Street, we could then do Cadenhead's, Whiskey Exchange Portland, Milroy's, and then Covent Garden, and you could do whiskey shop as well, so they're all in the same block.
Here's Tesco's, by the way, everyone. Maybe I should buy it now.
Yeah, grab it.
How much is it?
The one that I've come back to again quite recently that I really, really like, the 8-year-old Glen Glasser. Really like pear drops and foam bananas.
Yeah, what a cool shop.
Yeah, have a good day.
I was just saying I miss how my snot used to go grey after being on the tube. Don't actually miss that. When I first moved to London, I was just like, what the hell?
It's something that I don't think it's explained enough. Like, the first time I came to London and was blowing your nose, like, is this good?
It's like, why is it grey?
Just sooty.
Everyone gets ready, hops and tube dresses up, but everyone has grey snot all equal.
All equal in the eyes of snot.
Banging. So Garyana I was talking about earlier, the Westland, the American single malt, the one with the red stripe going through it.
Oh, yeah.
160, but it is just phenomenal, which I'll always fight for, is mellow corn. I think it's fantastic. Imagine drinking corn on the cob water, so you're boiling corn on the cob, imagine drinking that water, but that water's nice. That's the best way. It's literally like melted corn, it's so good.
Look at that. Bananas.
It's a really lovely room, you know.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
This is our amazing wall of single malt Scotch, which is beautiful and where I spend most of my time.
So after a long day exploring London, it was time to catch the train and head to the Cotswolds. But now we are in Cotswolds, hotel by a nice little kind of cute, quaint hotel. Now I've got a really old friend of mine, Matt Potter. I used to work with him when I lived in London. It's like a cold morning, but apparently it'll be a good day. We're going to do a video on how whiskey is made. Let's go. Now, the Cotswolds is a super unique place. It's English whiskey, and it's bringing something really unique to the whiskey world. When I was here, I shot a video with Rob, and we did a video on how whiskey is made. If you haven't seen it yet, go click the link in the description. I actually got to sit down with him and actually ask him some, whiskey geek questions. A big day shooting, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to meet you, Rob. Meet your beard as well.
Oh,
See it in 3D.
there you go.
What whiskey do you always have on the shelf?
I always have Glenelg on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always have the 12.
Yeah, it's such a good dram, eh?
Oh, mate, it's
Yeah.
so good.
And what was your gateway whiskey? The whiskey that you were like, there's something to whiskey.
All right, so before I got into the whiskey industry, I used to drink, like everyone, and I don't care who you are, admit this, I used to drink a lot of Jack Daniels with lemonade.
Yeah.
But if you're actually talking about like single malt whiskey that got me interested in the category, it was actually kind of like you. I really liked Ardbeg. My wife got me a bottle when we first got together as a gift. And so Ardbeg 10 was actually one of those where I went, there's a lot more to this. It's a lot more interesting.
Yeah, something going on here.
Yeah, so Ardbeg 10.
Wow, and look at you now.
And yeah, now I'm just JD Lemonade all day long.
Is there a whiskey out there that you think people are looking past, feels a little bit underrated, that you think maybe people should consider?
I would actually just say English whiskey is a category. I think that people are overlooking the fact that, you know, English whiskey, the way in which it's produced, so it's all about quality, not quantity. And I think it's never going to be a giant. There's never going to be billions of liters out there in a saturated market. They're all small producers focused on quality. So get behind English whiskey because it's nothing but people focusing on making the best possible whiskey in small quantities.
I think if you've been passing up on it, you should probably have an English whiskey on the shelf.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. This has been great.
We love you, Phil.
It's time to the IWSC Awards, and it was time to get ready. I actually had a +1, so my wife couldn't come with me to London, so I invited Jeff.
Here we are, suited up, all ready. Jeff was asking how I feel. I'm not sure if I'm hungry or jet lagged or nervous. I don't know. What happens if I win? That'd be a bit weird. What do you think?
Well, even if you don't win, it's still a huge win for Whiskey Tube.
True, that's true.
Now, I'm pretty nervous about whether I'm going to win or not. Didn't really think me making videos in my spare bedroom would come to me being at this fancy awards night.
Here with Jeff, we're checking out the whiskies. Quite a range. So what do we got? We got the Campus Box. Have you hit this one? The Celestial?
I've gone for a nice light palate starter of a 1987 single grain Dumbarton. Just shy of 50%. Starting off slow.
Yeah.
Quiet. That's phenomenal.
Cheers. Cheers. Good to have you here.
So this is it. This is when I find out whether or not I win the Global Spirits Communicator Award.
The judges were impressed by how this winner has been infusing live events with traditional forms of communication. The winner is Melita Keeley.
So I didn't actually win, but luckily I got to interview the winner.
Got a nominee and a winner. Congratulations.
Thank you
so good. Well done.
So I am Melita Kylie. I am the editor of the Spirits Business magazine.
Yeah.
So we're a trade magazine and we report on the global spirits industries.
What's your always on the shelf whiskey?
My go-to whiskey is probably Teeling single grain. And I love an Irish whiskey and I love a single grain. And I just think it's such a delicious, approachable whiskey. But it's definitely not simple.
That's such a good shout. Such a good shout. I love that. Yeah, that's sort of light but complex. Right?
Exactly.
So congratulations again.
Thank you so much. So good to meet
Thank you. You too.
Win or lose, just being part of this is incredible, and it was a big thing for Whiskey YouTube that within serious spirits communication, YouTube is seen as a viable avenue. It's not just books, magazines, it's Whiskey Tube too, and basically it was you, the First Fill fam, that helped me get here. So being in London, the awards, meeting Charlie MacLean, Ben, Jeff Whisky, Robert Cotswolds, it was absolutely fantastic. The thing I realized is whiskey isn't just a drink, it's about the people and the connections and making memories. Catch you in the next one.
There's a reason why he wears those shirts, hiding things.
Things no one wants to see.
No one wants to say. It was weird how everyone just left straight away though after when your shirt came off.
I thought it was a party, you know. I came for a party.
Yeah, that weird umbrella dance move thing you're doing.
It was good.
And the rhino thing you were doing.
You're making it sound like some kind of weird sordid affair.